Quadratic functions. Vocabulary. Quadratic function is an equation that has the highest exponent as 2. A parabola is the U-shaped graph of a quadratic function. So here's an equation and the highest exponent is 2. So we can categorize this type of function as a quadratic function. The same thing here. Y equals negative 3x squared minus 9. The highest exponent is 2. So this one is also quadratic. Here's a non-example. Y equals x to the third power plus 2x squared minus 5. Although there is an exponent of 2, the highest exponent is 3. So this is not quadratic. It's called cubic. The U-shaped graph is called a parabola. It can either open upward or open downward. How to graph a quadratic. Example 1. We're going to graph y equals x squared. Your first step is going to be to make a table. So I've chosen some x values, and we'll talk more about how to know which x values to choose later. You're going to choose some x values, and you're going to take each x value and plug it in to the function where x was. So you're going to take the variable x out and always put parentheses wherever x was. And inside, put the number that you chose for x. Negative 2 squared means negative 2 times negative 2, which is 4. Then we're going to write a ordered pair, negative 2, 4. And then plot the points. So negative 2, 4. And you're going to repeat this process until you have at least 5 points. Negative 1 squared is 1, and write the ordered pair, negative 1, 1, and then plot the point. 0 squared is 0, so our ordered pair is 0, 0. 1 squared is 1, so our ordered pair is 1, 1. And 2 squared is 4, so our ordered pair is 2, 4. And plot the point. Step 3, connect the points with a smooth U-shaped curve. Add arrows to show the graph continues. Remember, quadratic graphs are not V-shaped, so make sure that you draw a smooth curve and it is a U. The more points you have, the better the shape of the graph will be. More graphing. Example 2, graph y equals negative x squared plus 4. So I've started again with creating the table, and I took negative 2 and plugged it in where x was. Remember, this negative sign stays out front. Take only x out and put parentheses just where x was. The squared was already there, and so was the plus 4. Negative 2 squared is 4 times a negative is negative 4. Negative 4 plus 4 is 0. So my ordered pair is negative 2, 0. And I've plotted that point. Same here. Negative 1 squared is 1 times a negative, negative 1, plus 4 is 3. Negative 1, 3 is my ordered pair, and I've plotted it here. You should pause the video and try to complete the table and draw the graph. I'm going to continue. 0 squared is 0 times the negative is still 0, plus 4 is 4. 0, 4. 1 squared is 1 times the negative is negative 1, plus 4 is 3. 2 squared is 4 times the negative is negative 4, plus 4 is 0. And you see that my points are going upside down this time. So again, draw a smooth U-shaped curve, put arrows on it to show that it continues. This parabola opens downward. Another thing that you should notice is that this is called the vertex. The highest or the lowest point is called the vertex of a parabola. And you should see that on either sides of the vertex of the ordered pair 0, 4, it's a mirror image for the y values. You could fold this in half. It would be symmetric. Example 3, the function d equals 4t squared represents the distance, d, in feet, that a race car will travel over t seconds with a constant acceleration of 8 feet per second. Now, this part that says with a constant acceleration of 8 feet per second is only in the problem, so that way it is a real life example. It does not come into play in this problem. It has to do with gravity and physics. And so we're just going to mark it out and ignore it because it's extra information for what we are doing at this level. How long will it take the race car to travel 200 feet? So 200 feet is a distance that we want to know. So we're looking for, in our table, when t will give us a distance of 200. So we need to find out what t will give us d as 200. And so we can start plugging in numbers. And to save us some time, I'm going to choose a couple. Let's start with 3. At 3 seconds, so I'm plugging in 4 times 3 squared. 3 squared is 9. 9 times 4 is 36. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Try a few. 4 times 4 squared. 4 squared is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. So I know that they're getting there pretty quickly. 4 times 5 squared. 5 squared is 25. Times 4 is 100. 4 times 6 squared, 4 times 7 squared, 4 times 8 squared. And remember that we are looking for when the graph gets closest, when the d value gets closest to 200. All right, 6 squared is 36. 36 times 4, I believe, is 128. 7 squared is 49. Times 4 is 196. And 8 squared is 64. Times 4 is 256. So how long will it take the race car to travel 200 feet? Well, at 7 seconds, it's gone 196 feet. That's close, but it still hasn't gone 200. So our answer would have to be 8 seconds, because at the 8-second mark, it has passed 200 feet. Or you could make it a little bit more precise, but it has to go at least 8 seconds.